Like, someone needs to be there to teach this kid how to play quarterback. And then when he's not, you see what I'm talking about. You see, just make me a couple plays and let my defense handle the rest. No, because Cam has been in a slow decline since that first game when he came out the box throwing for 400 yards in the first game of his career ever.
Yep.
And slowly but surely, Chudzinski I feel like he got a raw deal. I didn't like how you give a dude 1 year in Cleveland. Like, it's gonna take more than one.
Then they got the new owner. They got the new owner, and he let him go.
Who's a crook anyway. And I was talking to my guy Alex, because Alex from North Carolina. I was like, they need to bring Chudzinski back, but he's actually somewhere else. He's actually either a quarterback's coach or an offensive coordinator for another team now. I can't remember what team it is. But yeah.
But that's where you see the frustration in Cam's face. Like, that's when all of that, like his rookie year, you couldn't tell that dude anything. Like he thought, because he didn't know when an offensive rookie of the year that year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, so you couldn't, it was all smiles. And it's just been like slowly but surely up until last year. This past year, it had been a lot of frustration with that dude. So,
well, that comes with the fact that he's been getting beat up too. Like, Cam's taking a lot of hits in his short 3-4 year career. He's taking a whole lot of hits, and it's starting to take its toll on his body. He's a big dude, but you can't keep taking those hits. And I'm saying the same thing I'm saying about him as Andrew Luck, because Andrew Luck take like hellacious hits. And he's a big kid, yeah, but you're not as big as the middle linebacker. You're not as big as the defensive end. Like, at some point, that's going to be the next. Like, people think Andrew Luck has it all together. No, at some point, that's going to have to be the next evolution of his game as well, getting rid of that football and not taking those unnecessary hits. Because Ben Roethlisberger does it a lot too. But, he's kind of, well, I'm not going to say but, because Ben's had those ankle injuries, and he had the ribs.
Oh, yeah, he stayed beat up.
He's had a bunch of, little, punchers type injuries, man. And but still yet, he's made doing that stuff a part of his game. My preference would be, look, man, get rid of the football. Live to play another down. But it's hard to tell somebody that's so physically gifted.
Roethlisberger gets commended for it. Like, it's like, oh, look at Roethlisberger. He's holding the ball. Look, he's extending the play.
Yeah.
Look, Roethlisberger extended the play by 10 seconds and found a wide open and sent it to the end zone. Like,
yeah, it's part of the feast and famine, man. It's like it's part of what makes him great. And if you start trying to take away somebody, that part of somebody's game, you change them in totality. So I understand it. I'm just saying, for my personal preference, I like to see dudes like with the ball out of their hand. You know what I mean? But you got these big, strong, 6'4", 6'5", 250-pound dudes. I mean, what you gonna say? Especially if they're making plays. So it's not like they're not making plays. They're making plays doing it. So there's that. Where was I? Oh, I was talking about the preseason schedule and games that you might want to, especially in the third week of the season. Certain things that have changed. You got this Minnesota-Dallas game in the third week of the season. That could be interesting if, this whole court thing, Adrian Peterson goes through, and then he ends up, switching teams, and Jerry Jones ends up getting Adrian Peterson, and Minnesota ends up without him. That could find its way to being something of interest. You get to see a lot of dudes play for new teams. Philadelphia will be taking on Green Bay in that third week, so you'll get to see if Sam Bradford is healthy. Get to see him out there with DeMarco Murray.
I read a story yesterday that said that none of the Eagles stores nor the online store, they're not selling Bradford gear. So I wonder what that.
Does he even have a number?
I'm
yet?
just saying. Yeah.
What you mean? Yeah.
I would think he has a number.
Why would he? Like dudes are just going to a mini camp. The first year coaches.
I guess with the year just technically starting, the new football year technically just starting, and maybe okay.
I mean, the new year started in February, so I mean we've been into the new football year for like 2 months now. But I'm just saying, no one's been on the premises. Like they can't meet with the coaches or anything except for the first year coaches. A lot of them had mini camps this year or this week. The teams who hired brand new coaches. So and really no one's checking for. Because at the same time, like, are people buying DeMarco Murray jerseys? Are those ready?
Man, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'll look it up. I didn't see that story, but it was just more so like, you know, they were making the angle that, you know, Bradford could not be long for the Eagles. Like
people looking because it's light and people want to just throw stuff together and, you know, they got deadlines and stories to write. I'm good.
Yeah, he doesn't have a number. He doesn't have a number right now.
Yeah. So you got Cleveland and Tampa Bay, possibly Jameis Winston and old Johnny Manziel, who, by the way, I didn't mention this the other day. This article that someone had some inside sources that the Cleveland Browns were like 90% done with the whole Manziel situation. Like they could be going back into the draft for another quarterback, namely one aforementioned Marcus Mariota, because the Johnny Manziel thing. I don't hate to say I told you so because I did. Like he's not an NFL football player. He's just not. Like even in college, when people was getting all excited about this dude, I was like, "Are y'all looking at the same thing I'm looking at?" Like
he's just running,
and now
he's running with the football.
Now we get the chance to see exactly what the real star of that team. Well, was the 6'5" grown man named Mike Evans that was playing against people's children in the secondary. That was the real star. Like, yeah, this little kid was running around a little bit and just chunking the ball in the air, but it helped that the dude catching the ball was an adult, and the rest of the kids around him were children. Yeah, that helped a lot. And you saw what happened this year in the NFL. One dude flourished, and one dude went to rehab. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and don't forget, they came to Atlanta. They came to Atlanta and beat the Falcons.
Yeah, you can't get into that whole. That was with Brian Hoyer, though.
I saw that game.
Yeah, that was with Brian Hoyer.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I tell people you can't get into all that. Oh, magic, Johnny Manziel, bro, Johnny Football Magic. It's cool. Yeah, whatever. But if you really looked at what, like, especially in that Alabama game when he had his Heisman moment, yeah, look at the second half of that game. Then look when he went to LSU what happened, what Les did to him. Yeah, it was like, no, we got a bunch of NFL dudes on this side of the ball. Keep trying us. Yeah, they shut him up. Like, I don't know. I'm just not that. I've never been that guy to been like, my football depends on excitement. I want to see real football.
But you know when Browns fans should have really been concerned, I mean, after the draft, was when that picture came out of him out on that floaty out in the middle of the pool, passed out with a bottle of champagne. Like, that's when folks should have, I mean, because that happened early.
Yeah.
That's when folks should have started being like, okay, we need to go ahead and just reel this in real quick, you know, before this thing gets bad, you know. But
you know when that stuff doesn't matter? When you can play ball. You know, that's when no one cares.
Yeah.
Ask Rob.
Well, they thought he could play.
When you can play ball, no one cares. Do what you want to do. Especially, you white? Yeah, whatever. You white and you Johnny Football. All that does is go to, it just adds to your persona. If you can ball, like dude that just goes all night and it comes in and just leads the team to victories, yeah, that's gold. But you can't ball. So not everything matters. Your cocaine habit matters. You being on pictures with Gronk in Vegas when everyone else that got drafted with you is studying their playbook, it matters now because you couldn't ball.
Oh, yeah, because you Johnny Football. It's just going to magically happen. You just going to get out on the field and it's just going to magically happen.
Like, do y'all understand how many arguments I got into with stupid people like Mark Zeno, man? Just getting to stupid arguments because he had this huge boner for Johnny Manziel. Like, what are you looking at that I'm not seeing? The fact that he believed wholeheartedly and was like, I guarantee they gotta start him day one. I was like, you're an idiot. If you believe that that's a true statement, you're an idiot. No one has to start anyone in this brand new NFL with this current CBA. No one has to start anyone because you're not paying any money, especially for the 22nd pick. God, you just have me revisiting just idiocy and stupidity.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no pressure. That's the one thing. It don't put any pressure on you to have to put them on the field like a Bradford or like a Stafford.
So ridiculous.
You know, well, you give somebody $50 million, you know, it's like
the economics tell you that you have to play them immediately. Like even with Jamarcus Russell held out, you know, and then when he got ready, like 2 weeks later, he was in the ball game.
Yeah.
You can't have $50 million sitting on the bench. It just don't make sense. But if I'm paying you $25 million for 3 years, by all means, homeboy, all I'm paying you anyway is backup money salary.
Yeah.
Get comfortable.
7.5. Yeah.
Get real comfortable, dude. Hell out of here.
Learn all the angles of this clipboard.
Crazy as hell. Speaking of these guys, these brand new CBA dudes, a lot of dudes got their 5th-year options picked up. Andrew Luck got his 5th-year option picked up at about $16.2 million. I'm trying to find the actual article here. I'm scrolling, but I can't find it. So Andrew Luck got his picked up. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Who else? Ryan Tannehill. It's funny. Well, not funny, but Ryan Tannehill is getting paid the same amount as Andrew Luck because his 5th-year option, obviously as well, is $16.2 million. Other notable names, guys like Melvin Ingram out of South Carolina, got his picked up at $7.8 million. A guy who can't really seem to stay healthy out there in San Diego, though. So that's kind of a risky thing there, picking up the option on the guy who can't find himself staying on the field. Somebody that's going to definitely get there is picked up Luke Kuechly at $11.1 million.
Oh, no, that.
Yeah, no brainer. Guys like Dontari Poe. Remember, Dontari Poe is probably one of the biggest examples of a guy who, like, people who always talk about the combine not mattering. This kid out of Memphis who didn't really flash on the on film, but showed up at the combine, this huge human being, just running and lifting and jumping, and then got drafted and didn't play well, and people was like, see, look at that, workout warrior. Yeah, Dontari Poe is a Pro Bowler now. So there. Yeah. And he's getting his option picked up at $6.1 million. But it becomes a matter of, I talked about it previously, man, it becomes a matter of fit. Dontari Poe ended up going to Kansas City. He ended up being out there with Romeo Crennel, a dude who's a very, very good defensive mind, and was able to teach this dude how to play football, not just be a great athlete, but play football. And now he's playing that nose tackle at a Pro Bowl level. So now you have the athletic ability and the football acumen in one human being, and this is the end result. This is the product. Other guys that you may know, Robert Griffin III. Yeah. He's under the category of close calls. Like, are we?
He got his option picked up.
Yes, we will. It says the most interesting decision on the board is whether Washington will pick up the $16.2 million option. See, boys and girls, this is why you read on Robert Griffin III. 5th-year options are guaranteed for injury, and given Griffin's injury history, it seems unlikely that Washington would give him that kind of money. With an injury guarantee.
Exactly.
Boys and girls, once again, this is why you read.
He's done. You
think so?
Yeah,
That's a shame, man. That's a shame if he is. That's a shame.
This is it for him. Like, it's do it down for him, right? This is it. Like if that dude comes out and does not, perform at a very high level, yeah, that's it, man. Somebody might take a chance on him as a backup. Or the Raiders are, of course, the Raiders are trying to get good, man. So I'm gonna start
it won't be the Raiders.
Like,
they got the car kid.
I gotta find another black hole for these players to go and die. But yeah, RG3, yeah, man. This is gonna be like an experiment that went wrong for Washington, and they go keep it moving after this. If it don't pan out this year, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean,
know that.
The draft will kind of tell part of this story as well. If they're one of the teams that end up finding their way towards Marcus Mariota as well. Like, I mean, obviously he's become the. I saw an article that mentioned him as the domino in the draft. Like, when he falls, other things will start coming into more focus as far as the NFL draft goes. Washington, they're not going to be shy about taking a quarterback if one is available. I don't think they definitely have needs defensively. They need to replace Brian Orakpo. They got linebacker needs on that side of the ball. D'Angelo Hall tore his something last year, but apparently he's coming back for one more year. But still, he's an older corner coming back off injury, so they're going to